What is up, YouTube? My name is Mitch Waterman. Welcome back to the vlog. Today's gonna be a little bit different. First of all, we're not making our coffee today. We're having a little treat. Some Starbies. This is a treat I like to get from time to time. No calories involved, so we're not cheating. The old freaky little cold brew is absolutely delicious. Today's vlog is going to be a little bit different because, as I said last week, we're not wrestling. So what are we going to do? Well, I'm going to take you through my day as usual. However, we are going to be sprinkling in some questions for that Q&A I told you guys about. Thank you for all the questions. It's actually a bit overwhelming. I don't know how I'm going to get them all in this video, but we're going to do what we can for today. So let's kick the Q&A off right now. So by far, the most requested question was, how do I become a professional wrestler? So if you're interested in that, stick around to the end of the video and I will let you know the top 3 things you need to do today to become a professional wrestler. All right, our first question comes from Keegsy. Keegsy says, how do you maintain such high discipline? Always admired that about you. Well, first of all, thank you, Keegsy. I appreciate the kind words, brother. I would say I got to this point of discipline by failing time and time again and not giving up. Keep plugging away. Don't give up. Eventually, over time, it just becomes habit, man. And just know what the end goal is. Know what you want, how you want to get there, and go after it. Speaking of which, it is time to head to the gym and get a cheeky pump in. So let's go. I thought, while we're driving to the gym, why not get a cheeky question in? Plus, it's about travel, so it's relevant. Next question comes from Brahman Please, who asks, what was your longest drive or flight to get to a show? Longest drive? Nick Berry, Avery, and myself drove through the night to Newey in New South Wales. That drive, I believe, was about 13 hours through the night. We got down there, had a quick nap, went to the venue, wrestled, and then went out and partied all night. As far as longest flight, in 2019, Nick and I had to fly to England for a Ring of Honor tour, which was an incredible opportunity. But I believe that was like 25 hours of travel all up. So yeah, that would be the longest ones. We're here at the gym, training a bit of chest today. I'm gonna knock out a couple questions quickly. We've got one firstly from Beck. What passions do you have outside of wrestling? How do you spend your free time? I'm gonna do this as double whammy because it kind of ties into Mohindra's question where he asks, do you worry about not getting signed to a major wrestling promotion? This is kind of how I spend my free time. I spend most of my free time working out, focusing on diet, focusing on things I can control, which brings me to Mohindra's question. Do I ever worry about getting signed to a major promotion? Not really. To be honest, I worry about what I can do right now to get closer to that. So right now, what I can do is lift this weight as many times as I can. What I can do next, go to my car, have my shake, go home, have my meals. I can control what I can control, and that is what I'm going to do every single day to work closer to that goal. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, I know I've put in my best effort, and to me, that's all that matters. All right, in the spirit of my new tag partner, we are going to do a few rapid fire questions to knock them out of the way because otherwise, I'm not going to get them all done. Bonnie asks, future dream opportunity to wrestle at Tokyo Dome like Gino Gambino. Ruby asks, what wrestler made you believe you could become a wrestler? Eddie Guerrero, Shawn Michaels, Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio. For 200K, would you live with Kaz Jordan for 6 months? No. Weird Bitch asks, how do you feel interacting with fans outside the ring? I'm quite a shy person, so it used to be something I avoided a little bit, but I've grown to absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite parts of the shows, especially getting to meet kids who are so excited to meet a wrestler, because that was me once, and I think that's just the coolest thing in the world. We have got another double header from Mohindra who asked, do you play video games? I love video games. I don't get a lot of time to play anymore. I'm a big Call of Duty guy. And that brings me to his other question, which is, love the vlogs. What made you start making YouTube videos? Back in the day, I actually wanted to be a video game YouTuber. I wanted to make Call of Duty videos, make YouTube videos. So this has been something I've been thinking about for a very long time, but was always too scared to do it. That's one of my big goals this year. I'm a massive overthinker. So this year I've decided anything that scares me, anything that I'm worried about judgment, I'm just gonna do it. And I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability. I've learned that in actuality, everyone is super supportive, super loving. So that's a cool message, man. Go after what you want, chase what you want. People are gonna support you, man. So thanks for the questions. Alright guys, it is lunchtime. I have a question from Kick'em and Spit who asks, how do you diet? What are some cheap dieting strats? So I thought I would show you what I'm having for lunch. It's nothing crazy. Chicken, rice and veggies, it's pretty cheap. You can buy a bag of rice for not much at all. Chicken, I just prep for the week. Convenience is key with me. I'm prepping a lot of meals frequently. Other than that, lots of fruit, lots of veg, and just lots of whole foods. Just cut out all the crap. Easiest first step you can take. Alright guys, it's time for the final question. You guys know what I'm talking about, but if you haven't already, I would really appreciate if you like, comment, subscribe, tell a mate, whatever. It helps a lot to know that people are watching and enjoying these vlogs. So if you could do that, I'd really appreciate it. Our final question is, how do I become a professional wrestler? I'm going to tell you guys the top 3 things you can do right now that are going to benefit you hugely on your journey. Number 3, start making physical fitness a part of your life in some way. Now, I'm not saying you need to become a bodybuilder. I'm not saying you need to do Tour de France. What I'm saying is, if you don't do any physical activity at all, start walking a few times a week. Once that becomes easier, start jogging a couple times a week. If you don't do any strength training, start going to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, doing some resistance training. Reality is, when you step through those ropes, professional wrestling is an intense sport. You need a baseline of cardio, baseline of strength, get through the physicality, do a lot of the crazy stuff that we're required to do as wrestlers. Number 2, start watching as much and as many types of wrestling as you can. Now, I know a lot of guys will say you need to watch wrestling critically. I'm going to say something counter to that. When you're getting into the wrestling business, I think you should be watching as many types of wrestling as you can as a fan to figure out what you like about wrestling, what gets you up out of your chair, what do you enjoy. And then once you start training and building a baseline of skills, then you can look at that stuff and look at it critically. Why do I enjoy this? How can I implement it? How can I steal like an artist and make it my own? But until then, watch as a fan. Number 1, the most important thing to me, and it might not be what you expect, the number 1 most important thing to me to becoming a professional wrestler is start to understand yourself. Start to understand who you are as a human being. Knowing yourself is to know other people. And what we do in wrestling, our job is to move people, to make them feel something. If we don't know how to feel ourselves, if we don't understand how other human beings operate, that's going to be a very, very difficult job. So figure out who you are, figure out what makes you tick, figure out how you interact with people, what makes you laugh, what makes you cry. You need to learn to tap into that and bring it to the forefront. Knowing who you are, knowing how to interact with other people is going to help you tremendously in your professional wrestling journey. And with that, we have come to the end of the vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this different style of video. As always, I will see you guys next time. Peace.